Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. Today is not really a day for enthusiastic happiness, but if you're new here, my name is Wavy and this is just Wavy Media, and today is a bit of a story time. So you guys have probably seen on this channel, and you'll see from the title of this video as well, that I'm calling the video Mickeylooted, riding a wave of deception and bad customer service. So I have had, and this channel has had, a relationship with the company Mickeylooted, who are based over in Orlando, Florida, for the past year, all of 2021. I got my first box in January in 2021 on the channel, and unboxed it on the channel, and then they made me a promo code. I'd like to show you as well. I'm going to put somewhere, maybe on this side of me, I'm going to put a screenshot just of my orders. Some people might be under the mistaken assumption that because there's a Wavy 10 code that I was getting my boxes for free, or that I was getting discounts on them. I wasn't. The Wavy 10 was just for you guys. It didn't benefit me, or it shouldn't have benefited me in any sort of a way. Don't use that code. So I paid for all of my boxes myself out of my own money, with the exception of they did upgrade one box from an A ticket to a B ticket, my Redheads of Disney box, and then I also won an A ticket box which I upgraded to a B ticket box from Thomas at Stitches Ohana, which was my blue box. So my Redheads box and my blue box were ones that they upgraded, or that I won an A ticket and I upgraded it, so I didn't pay fully for those boxes. And then there's also one charge there that is for a giveaway that I did on the channel. Somebody won a B ticket box, I think it was. So I paid for them all myself, basically, with the exception of those upgrade / giveaway wins. And you'll see as well that the most recent box I actually ordered in September, and that box would have went up, and it wasn't actually that one. It was the one that I got most recently was from earlier than that, but the most recent unboxing I did is last week. So Wednesday, so Tuesday last week, some stuff has happened, but we're going to go back a little bit further than that to give some context of all of this. So I started buying Mickeylooted boxes back, like I say, in December, I think it was, or maybe January of 2021 or December of 2020. And the first box had a Princess Anna statue in it, which is over there, and it was $75, and it was a $75 box, so it was amazing. The second box I got had the Cookie Jar Castle in it, which is right here, to my left, to your right, and another that's, I've said it 100 times, it's one of the most beautiful items I've ever gotten in a subscription box, and one of the coolest things I've ever gotten, or one of the most beautiful Disney products I own. So I had a good relationship with them. Around about that time, they moved from where they were in North Carolina, I believe, to be closer to Walt Disney World, and boxes started to slow down. Matt, who owns the company, he did a live sometime around that period, where in the comments on that live chat, in the chat on that live stream, I said, you know, they obviously got bigger than they thought they would, quicker than they thought they would, and have kind of bitten off more than they can chew. And like, at the time, there was beginning to be a negative response to the length of wait for boxes, which has never ever bothered me because I'm in Ireland, so it's quite far away anyway, and it will take some time for boxes to get here. So, and then especially like in 2020 with the pandemic, and even like I ordered this, I don't know if you can see Buffy there, yeah you can, I ordered this Buffy and it took more than a year to get here from when I pre-ordered it. So, you know, like, waiting has never been an issue for me. But some people were getting upset with waiting, and I, on that comment, was like, hey Mickeylooted, like, here's an out, you know, just say we got bigger than we wanted to get, or not bigger than we wanted to get, but bigger than we could handle getting as quick as we got that big, you know. And Matt responded on that live chat, which I think was on somebody else's channel, that he was with somebody else, or somebody else was with him, I'm not sure, I don't remember. He responded to me on that, and he basically corrected me, and he said that they run their businesses very well and they know what they're doing and they didn't bite off more than they could chew. And I was like, oh, okay, well, like, you know, I was only trying to help you guys. And I learned then that, you know, maybe they couldn't handle any sort of comments that they might deem as negative, so I stopped making them. And then, you know, I've like the balance of trying to be honest with the wait time, for how long I was waiting for my box. Like I called one of the videos like July and October or whatever, and saying that there's delays and stuff, and also not saying something that could be termed as too negative that would upset Matt. Matt and myself, we had a pretty good, I would have thought, good relationship. He told me that, you know, he's got a similar background, has come from similar things. I've heard from other people that he says what could basically be termed as the opposite of that to them, to kind of make a connection with them, and that maybe seems to be like a thing that he does. He tries to make a personal connection and make your support of his company and his family like personal, as opposed to purely professional or business. And then in the summer we had with Jake's Disney afternoon, and Jake, I want to apologize again to you for not jumping on board. I mean, I do want to apologize to you and the upset that caused you. Like, it would have been, I'm a person that gives grace and gives second chances, and it's a whole big thing that I believe in. And like as they looked like they were changing, you know, I was hopeful that we would be in a better place round about now, but we're not. We're in a worse place. So Jake, yeah, I do apologize, and I mean that genuinely, even though I don't know if I could have done something differently, like in the same situation, you know, if I was in the same place again with the knowledge I have now, yeah, of course, but with the same knowledge that I had back then, I don't know if I could have done something differently. But I am sorry for how that it might have affected you, or it did. But anyway, Jake made a video. I'm going to put these other videos that I'm referencing, I'm going to put into my Mickeylooted playlist, and I'm going to change as well the thumbnails and the titles of my Mickeylooted videos, because I don't want people to go out and buy a Mickeylooted video, basically. Anyway, Jake made a video. He called it The Trial of Mickeylooted, and that's going to be in the playlist. And he talked about how Matt spoke to him. Matt is the owner of Mickeylooted. How Matt spoke to him, and it was the first time I'd ever heard, you know, like I'd seen obviously in my own interaction with him that time that he didn't take criticism well, and so I was aware that he doesn't take criticism well. And, you know, I've never experienced him, and it's like that situation of, you know, you can't believe somebody's being bad to somebody else because they're so good to you. And mine and Matt's relationship was good. He even sent me a book that he found encouraging in his life when a big change happened, because a big change happened in mine this year. So like, it was hard to grasp that this could be who he was as a person, as opposed to maybe a blop or a glitch or a blip on his day. Like, he had a bad day, you know? And so that I put it down to it being like a bad day, and talked to Matt probably about it, and said, like, you know, we're just gonna move past and do better. And Matt then made which I think they've taken down from their YouTube channel, he made an apology on his YouTube channel, kind of sort of an apology, like I want to move forward, I want to do better kind of a video. And they hired a social media manager, and that person was commenting instead of him, and he stepped away from it for a bit. And like, you know, it was looking positive. That social media manager seems to have disappeared off the face of the earth. I guess they let her go. And Matt is back to commenting again. So we then had a second incident with Disney Inside Andy. So again, I'll have the links to these videos in the description. I'll add them to the Mickeylooted playlist. I might even throw them above. But yeah, so Disney Inside Andy, she got a Disneyland Paris box, and they marked up the prices of the Disneyland Paris boxes by about 40% per item. So, you know, if an item cost $10, if you translated it into from euro to dollars, it came out to $10, or roughly $10. It was put down as 14. So people were quite unhappy with that. I understand, you know, a bit of why that happened with import charges and, you know, customs and all that kind of stuff, bringing that much stuff back to the States. I mean, they could have written that off in their business, I'm sure, but like as business expenses, but you know, there's going to be reasons. They flew over there themselves, they don't have a contact over there, you know, there's reasons for that. But anyway, Matt and another person in the comments on that video were, and he was doing this now all the time from the Mickeylooted page, not from his own personal page, but from the business YouTube page or account. And so he was basically acting or reacting quite badly to somebody in the comments, and they were reacting badly to him. And I was very surprised because the last video of that person I'd seen was positive about Mickeylooted. And so I talked to Matt about it afterwards, you know, and like he again kind of put it down to that a bad day, that she really rubs him up the wrong way. And he even said that he spoke to the owner of the YouTube channel who the video was on, which I have since learned is also incorrect. And that he decided to delete some of his comments because he got too heated and he got too emotional, but actually the comments were deleted by the YouTube channel owner with no, or little to no, I'm not sure if it's no, but like with no contact from him or little contact from him. So anyway, he convinced me that it was another blip, and we're like, okay, onwards and upwards, we're going to keep going, we're going to keep moving, and we're going to keep just getting better, you know. And accidents happen, people lose their cool sometimes, you know, that's part of life. But he wanted to do better. So then come to Tuesday last week, another video went up again. I'll link it in all of the places, where a person ordered a B-ticket box, $75 box, and they got a tube, and inside in the tube there was a Mulan poster. There was no spoiler sheet, there was no information about this poster, there was just a poster for $75. Now, the majority of us, when we interact with posters, what we get is a poster from like a music shop or a pop culture shop, and they might be at most 10, maybe a little bit more than $10. So to get a poster in a box for $75, like, it's going to be shocking. You're going to be like, this is ridiculous. And I commented on that, and I said, in her shoes I would have felt the same. You know, there's nothing to say that the box, or what was in the box, or what was in the tube, it wasn't even a box, what was in the tube was worth the value you paid for it. Posters, our experience of posters is around about $10, maybe $15. So you're like looking like you're out a lot of money, and there's no spoiler sheet to explain to you what this poster is and how it has a value of $75. So at the same time, the Mickeylooted page, so Matt was using again the Mickeylooted face or YouTube channel. He was using the business account to have an argument with somebody who explained to the woman what the value of the poster was. She was like, I went on this website, I saw it there for $75, it's a limited edition print, there's only so many of them in the world, that's why it is what it is, and that's the value of it. And then she said, but to be fair and to be honest, I also saw it somewhere else for $40. With the place that she knew that Mickeylooted would get their merchandise, it was $75. So that was like not value plus like Mickeylooted has always promised, but value, you know, on the ball value. Anyway, he was sounding off in the comments at this woman, commenting back to her, making known her profession publicly and implying that she's not good at it, and various other things similar to what happened basically with Jake's Disney Afternoon way back, where he said he was a bully and should be fired from his teaching job. And you know, this is the third time now. Like, apparently 3 times and you're out is me. That's apparently my limit. But yeah, he was commenting on it again, and I was like, look, this, I have my comment here, I think, don't I? Oh no, I don't. It's on the phone, so I can't see it. Anyway, the comment is on that video, you'll see it. But basically I said, like, you know, it's really upsetting for me to see this, to see him using the Mickeylooted page to insult Mickeylooted customers on Mickeylooted videos, and that it needs to stop. And he apologized for it before, and we need to move past it now, and we need to to stop. And if I can find that comment, I'll probably just screenshot it again. I will stick it here so that you can read it. But anyway, later on, and I have these on my laptop, you see, so I'm able to actually read them to you. So my laptop is just here. He DM'd me, so he didn't sound off at me in the comments, but he did send me direct messages. So I would like to read them to you. I'll also put them here so that you can read them yourself. Now, at this point in time, I am a supporter of Mickeylooted and a friend of Matt, the owner of Mickeylooted, who has seen him arguing with people on social media via the official Mickeylooted channels 3 times. And I don't read the comments a lot. I'm sure it happened more than 3 times, but I've seen it 3 times. And all I wanted to do was be like, look, it's bad for your business to keep doing this. People see this and they just see Mickeylooted, the business, fighting with Mickeylooted customers, and it's not good for business. And so I was trying to kind of reach out like more as or make the comment more as a friend than, you know, as somebody who was against the company or anything like that. But anyway, I got this private message from him. It says, "Wavy man, I'm very disappointed." You'll see it here. "I'm very disappointed in the public comments you've been making. You know better about us. And you mocked me the other day with Mike, and I said nothing then." Okay. So the only thing that I can think of that this is, so Mike is the owner of Magic at Your Door, which is, you could call it a competitor company. They also do mystery subscription boxes, but, you know, they do them very differently. Let's just leave it at that. So Matt, who's from Mickeylooted, he did a live video where he said that Mickeylooted was going to change and they were going to ship boxes out within 48 hours. And we'll get back to that in a little while because he's said more about that since. And Mike came onto it from Magic at Your Door, so a competitor, and he asked the question, when do you expect to have this up and running? When can we expect to see this happening? And Mickeylooted, Matt from Mickeylooted, he said he kind of freaked out that Mike was there. And he was like, "Oh, we don't answer our competitors' questions." And so then other people started asking the question that, like, it's a legitimate question. When do you expect to have this new service operational? Is a legitimate question on an announcement about a new service. So other people asked it as well. I was typing it too, but it was there a few times already because I'm apparently slower at typing than other people. But then anyway, Mickeylooted ended the live very quickly because he didn't want his competitors on it. And they posted to the Mickeylooted social media, he posted an apology about the unprofessionalism. And as I was reading it, I assumed he was going to apologize for how unprofessional Matt from Mickeylooted was, that he kind of freaked out, the way he spoke to the owner of his competitor's business, and how he shut down the live stream because a competitor was watching. I assumed the apology was going to be how unprofessional he came across in all of that, because he did. But he actually apologized for how unprofessional it was that his competitor came on a live stream and asked a question. Like, that's just ridiculous. Like, if you do a live stream, expect people to ask questions. If you do a live stream asking or announcing things and not giving a specific time frame, expect a question about a time frame. It just so happened to be that it was Mike from Magic at Your Door that asked that question. It could have been anybody else, you know? And so Mike from Magic at Your Door posted that. So both Mickeylooted and Magic at Your Door have private Facebook groups for their customers where you can share the things you got in your box. Or with Magic at Your Door as well, if you don't like an item, they have a trading thing, so you can trade items with other people if you got something that's maybe not exactly what you were looking for. So Mike posted the screenshot from Mickeylooved's Instagram story about him coming onto the live, and he was like basically, how ridiculous is this? And so I commented on that and I said, you know, I thought he was going to apologize for how unprofessional he was being. It's ridiculous to me that he's apologizing for how unprofessional Magic at Your Door, or Mike from Magic at Your Door, is for coming on and asking a question. Like, that's not unprofessional. So this is the only thing I think he can be referring to here when he says, you mocked me the other day with Mike and I said nothing. It could be something else. I don't know. That's the only thing I think it could be. And then he continues and he goes, And then today, your assumption that that poster wouldn't be to value. I never made an assumption that it wouldn't be to value. I said that in her shoes, getting a poster in a tube and paying $75 for it with no spoiler and no explanation, that would make me upset if I was in her shoes and I didn't realize the value of the item. So anyway, he then says they aren't smart enough to understand the value of art. But come on, man. If you didn't know what I was all about, I'd understand, but you do. Just very disappointed in you at the moment. And now I read your last comment. You are so far off base, you don't even know. Do you think for 1 minute I would say this? This is referring to whatever he was arguing with the other person on that video about. I didn't even read that. I just saw Mickeylooted arguing with Mickeylooted customers on Mickeylooted videos and was like, this is bad for business and you need to stop. So anyway, he said, do you think that for 1 minute I would say this if I didn't have documentation and video evidence? Come on, man, I'm smarter than that. I'm so far within my rights to say this and much more. This has been disgusting. And then he says to me, this is unreal that you would say this to me. It's my right to bring out the truth. There are going to be a lot of apologies owed to me, and I'm not done talking. I'm just ramping up. So I had said to him, you need to stop behaving like this from official Mickeylooted accounts on Mickeylooted videos. And he said, I'm not done talking. I'm just ramping up. But I held back what I had out of grace. But I'm done now. And I'm done with that. I'm done with that. And then you should be ashamed of yourself. So I responded, and I'll put that up here as well. Because again, at this moment in time, I am still a Mickeylooted supporter, still a friend of Matt, and just want the best for them. And think that fighting with Mickeylooted customers on Mickeylooted videos is not what is the best for them. Are we still filming? We are. Okay, great. Sorry guys, this is going to be long. So I said, Matt, you know I love Mickeylooted and care about you guys, them personally, but the fighting on people's YouTube videos is really unbecoming and getting exhausting. And then I said, which I know it must be much worse for him because he's feeling like he needs to defend himself all the time, you know. I said, I'm not saying you're wrong about what people are saying. I didn't read what people were really saying to him. I'm just posting about it from the I'm just saying that posting about it from the Mickeylooted page and getting into arguments with people just looks bad and is bad for the company. I also know you wouldn't send something not worth the value, but I don't think that anymore either. They have been since this. But that box with no spoiler sheet to tell her what it was or the value of it, I can see how you'd be disappointed at that. And I would be too if I was in I got the same thing in the same situation. I'm not against you guys. I want you to win, but I don't think you can if you're going to go off in the comments as Mickeylooted. It just looks bad. I know you, Matt. I know your vision. I know your heart. And I know that fighting in the comments isn't why you got into this. And that Mickeylooted is about so much more. So he replied, I said I got rid of spoiler sheets and why I did, period, non-issue, and most boxes, including Mike's, so that's Magic at Your Door, don't include spoiler sheets, which is true. So I answered him, you'll see it here. Mike has the prices on pretty much every item so that you can add it yourself, which is true. You've seen me do it in my Magic at Your Door videos. I will link the playlist above. I know you explained why he was getting rid of spoiler sheets, and I know why you did it too. I'm just saying, from a person that doesn't know Mickeylooted that well, getting a poster and no explanation would be disappointing, and in her shoes, I would be too. Then he I didn't mention his apology, but I did. He must have been reading the comment, because he says about his apology that he made and how he wanted to move forward and not be the person who's arguing with his customers anymore. He answers this: I don't give a crap about that apology. The gloves are off and it's all coming out. Remember, everyone talks to the box man and I have it all documented. So I'm not going to take being misrepresented and crapped on in public anymore. I know my worth and I'm good at what I do. If you all want to be left with your Loungefly and Gym Shore boxes, I could care less, man. So Gym Shore boxes and Loungefly boxes, the two big ticket items, the Bibbidi Bobbidi boxes and Magic at Your Door put in their boxes. So he's basically calling them crap. So he goes on, see, just because you all don't want to hear it, facts are stubborn things. I don't even know what he's referencing there. And thankfully I have the facts and the proof on my side, and I'm about ready to start spilling the tea. Alright, have fun. Don't slip on it. It's gone too far, and I'm done with people trying to shame me into being quiet when they are the ones spreading lies. So I told him to stop commenting as Mickeylooted on stuff. Because it's bad for business. And he says to me, I'm done with people trying to shame me into being quiet when they're the ones spreading lies. Like, it's bad for business when you see a business owner fighting with customers on social media. So then, after these, I replied back to Matt, and then he sent me one more message after that. So you will see that here. Again, still at this point, I'm like, you know, commenting back at the minute and not really processing what is being sent to me, because it's, you know, it's not very logical what he's sending back. But anyway, so I say, you have a right to defend yourself and the company and your integrity. Of course you do. But it might be better done not with the Mickeylooted branding on it. Ages ago, he talked about an idea of having Matt Unboxed. I couldn't remember what it was, so I called it Matt Uncorked. So I said Matt Uncorked might still be a good idea, which would be like a forum where he could kind of more defend himself and share his opinions a little bit more, which would be separate from the company. So I said Matt Uncorked might still be a good idea. And then I said, don't let these things get you down too much. You do a great job, Matt, because I've always gotten great boxes from them. You guys have seen them. And you're a lovely guy, and he had been up until that point. Just the PR side of things looks messy when there's comment battles going on random videos, and it looks bad when you've brought in PR people. Said you'd step back from it yourself, and now are there comment battling people again. So my point in the conversation wasn't to think of anything outside of it looks bad for Mickeylooted to be commenting on Mickeylooted videos insulting Mickeylooted customers. That was literally my point of the conversation at that time. So then Matt answered, and this was kind of, I guess this one was like a flick switch in my mind, where, you know, like kind of how I see things changed. If it's not been on the screen already, I'll show it to you here. So Matt answered me and he said, I got to the dance being me, and I'm going to stay that way. And then he says, people buy Mickeylooted for the product and not for me. That wasn't true. I liked the product, but I also bought it because I liked Matt and I wanted to support him and his family. And so he goes on and he says they can buy or not, but they can't misrepresent me and think they're going to get away with it. And I said, fair enough. I was like, okay, I'm done now. That's, you can, 3 words, I've had enough. I'm done. Okay, fair enough. That's like, I don't want to continue this conversation, but I also don't want to say you're wrong because you will continue this conversation. So that's just that sentence. I got to the dance being me and I'm going to stay that way. Like, this isn't a conversation about how he shouldn't be comment battling with people in Mickeylooted video comments as Mickeylooted, and how he apologized for it and he said he was going to do better. And then he says that apology basically meant nothing to him, and that he got to the dance by being him and he's going to stay that way. So when I said previously in that conversation, I showed it to you before, I said that I know this isn't what Mickeylooted is about, and I know Mickeylooted is about so much more than battling in comments. I was wrong, because he said he got to the dance by being him and he's going to stay that way. And this is in a conversation about him battling people in comments. So like, what he actually wants Mickeylooted to be, what I understand from this is he wants Mickeylooted to be a place where he can air his opinions about people and comment on their videos and comment on other people's comments on other people's videos and insult them and be harsh to them and not take criticism well and not improve and not get better. Like, he thinks he is the pinnacle of who he could be as a businessman and as a person who serves customers. Like, when you have come to this whole thing with the perspective of, like, they've promised they're going to do better, and they're promised they're not going to do this, and you know, there's blips and there's times people fall and make mistakes and whatever, and you kind of accept that. But then when the guy who you're like, okay, he's promised he's going to do better, so we'll stick around, outrightly comes out and is like, no, this is me. Like, the Greatest Showman, standing there singing "This Is Me," but about all of the wrong things about himself. Like, you just have to be like, oh, okay, so I've totally misjudged who you are as a person, and you've misrepresented yourself to me, misrepresented yourself to other people based on probably what the person they hired to be their social media manager advised. Excuse me, they probably said that he should make an apology, step back, you know, all those kind of things. And then they eventually got rid of that person and just kept doing it anyway. So yeah, that's the craziness. So that in that conversation that I was having with Matt, I was still a Mickeylooted supporter, still thought of myself as a friend of Matt, until this last message where he says he got to the dance by being me, and I'm going to stay that way, because that to me is, I don't want to change, I don't want to be different, I don't want to be better. This is what you get, and you're getting what you get. Since then, Jen has done a video, which I will link as well in all of the places, talking about her experience with Matt, and what he says to her is quite horrible, and she actually met them in person and stuff, like, so I'm not going to get into other people's stuff, except for where there's a bit of relevancy. And you know, again, he is showing that the person that he wants to be is this person who's horrible to people. Now, on a kind of the other side of things, we've had a conversation about the 48-hour Mickey loot recently. I mentioned it, that they were going to try and go to 48 hours. So he actually commented on a box post on Facebook, and so this again is from the official Mickeylooted page. I'll put it here again. He says, obviously the post must have said my box finally came, which is a recurring theme because some of them are more than 6 months late at this point. So he says, glad you got it. They asked how Mickeylooted was. It says, yes, we're fine. I guess you missed our post about getting rid of spoiler sheets in orders to speed up orders going out. So they got rid of the spoiler sheets, which is, I mentioned the box that got the $75 tube, the box. I keep calling it a box. It was a tube. We shouldn't be giving credit where credit is not due. That was not a box that they sent them. They did not send them a subscription box. They sent them a tube with a poster in it. And no spoiler sheet, no explanation of the value. And that has become a recurring theme. And we're beginning to see things undervalued. People are not getting what they paid anymore. So anyway, we'll keep reading this one. We're shipping so many boxes to clear the backlog that it is a bit nuts. We're making some changes, and believe me, it's hard for us to do, but people have requested them, so we're doing it. As the saying goes, there are 3 parts of getting a product, and you can only have 2. 1 is good, 2 is fast, 3 is cheap. If you want it good and fast, it's not going to be cheap. If you want it cheap and good, it's not going to be fast. We have tried to keep our margins and costs low, cheap, while providing a good product. That resulted in things not going fast, so people weren't happy with that. We're now changing to a model that will allow you to choose what's important to you. So I said in a previous Mickeylooted video that I did on my channel that this new 48-hour Mickeylooted venture was quite exciting. But what I hoped wouldn't happen is we would lose the personal touches of Mickeylooted that made Mickeylooted, like the wrapping, the handwritten note, the spoiler sheets. But here, he's even going beyond that. He's saying that you can have either a good product and have it fast, but it's going to be expensive. You can have a cheap product and have it good, but it's going to be slow. Or you can have a cheap product. So he's saying he does his products for cheap, which $75. a month, $40 a month, $75 a month, $150 a month, $200 a month, $300 a month. That's the prices. Not specifically cheap, really, especially if you're getting $300 e-ticket boxes. But anyway, you can have it good and fast. You can have it, but it's going to be expensive. You can have it cheap and fast, but it's not going to be good. And that's the model that they're moving to, isn't it? So if he's saying there's 3 things and you can only have 2 of them, and we're going to 48 hours, that's fast, and they're not increasing the prices, so he still thinks of it as cheap, it's no longer going to be good. Like, so the things that you have seen in my unboxings are not what your experience is going to be with Mickeylooted. It probably never was. Maybe it was. I don't know. I do genuinely now think, I didn't think it before because I watched other YouTubers and they were getting good boxes, and but like, you know, it's a true thing. You know, it's easier to send the people who are going to unbox things good boxes. And I was quite shocked actually in my last video. I said before the video, before I opened the box, that there wasn't going to be wrapped items, there wasn't going to be a spoiler sheet, there wasn't going to be a postcard, and I had all 3 of those things. And that was deliberately done, obviously, so that it would look good and people would see that video and buy. But that is not the service that you're going to get, because if they're going for fast and they're going for not very increasing their prices, the items in the box are not going to be good. That's the long and short of it. Since all of this, in the past week, I've been thinking about stuff and just mulling over whether I would even make this video, because I don't want the drama on my channel, but I feel like I have a responsibility to you guys who might choose to buy Mickeylooted because you've watched these videos. I'm sorry this is so long again as well, guys. That yeah, like, I have a responsibility to you to tell you the truth, and it would not be right of me to not tell you the truth, and to let you continue to think that a Mickeylooted box is a good purchase. When I don't think it would be a good purchase for you, and it would be wrong for me to ignore that, and it would be wrong for me to continue to get good boxes. I've not had really a bad box. I didn't really like my Castle box, but that was more personal. Like, it wasn't because they did a bad job, it was just more a personal thing. It had a very expensive pin set in it, and I kind of had a very full pin board at the time, and so wasn't excited about more pins. So yeah, like, I've had good boxes, and even though my personal experience and even in my own interactions with Matt have been good, it's not right for me to not think about you guys, and to not think about the 6-month wait you're going to have for a box, or the fact that it might not be value plus, that you might get a $75 poster in a $75 box. Tube, not even a box, in a tube, and with no spoiler sheet to explain it to you. Or since then, people have gotten boxes and it's just been getting crazier. So recently, I saw last night, I think it was, an unboxing of a Guardians of the Galaxy box. The Guardians of the Galaxy box, it was $150 box. We estimated, like, it was a live video, so we could interact with it. And we estimated there was about 140 to 148 of value there, depending on how you change euro to dollars, with the 2 Paris items. There was one proper Guardians of the Galaxy item in that box. A $150 box, one proper item. It was a pin that said Guardians of the Galaxy, a badge. The other items in the box were Howard the Duck, who, yes, he's from Guardians of the Galaxy. He was an item that was like linked to the ride in Disneyland. It's kind of a cool item, but like, when it's one of the only 2 Guardians of the Galaxy items in the whole box, it's less great, I suppose you could say. Like, I mean, he only has cameos in the movies. He's not in it for a very long time, so it's not very exciting to get that and a badge that says Guardians of the Galaxy on it. And then on top of that, there was an Avengers Campus pin, so sort of connected. A Thanos' Gauntlet keyring, so again, Thanos is in it. You know, Guardians of the Galaxy, 2 of the main characters are his daughter, so There was an infinity stone in the first one, so like again kind of connected, but not really. And then the two other items, which were the most expensive items in the box, there was a $75 Star Wars bag of the Millennium Falcon. $75, half the price of the box, half the price of the box, a Star Wars item. And the other item was also Star Wars. I think it was note cards, like cards for sending to people, and I think it was Women of the Galaxy. So I think that was $80, $90, $100 or so of the $150 box was items that were Star Wars in this particular box. And then on the live stream, there was people commenting, about their own situations, and somebody mentioned that they're putting out a video with the ridiculousness that was their box. So look forward to that, guys. That's coming at some point. And then somebody else said that they ordered a Hercules box, and their items, they got no Hercules items in their Hercules box. They only got Artemis Fowl items. So it's like, it's now to the point where the product's not good. The product's not worth the value. The product doesn't come in time, and the customer service is, and I said this on my comment, is a total shit show. Like, what are we left with? We're left with lies, misdirections, abusive comments, abusive DMs, a company that is clearly unable to do its job, but is able to give good boxes to the people who unbox them online. Even though I paid for them all, they all came out of my own money. I'm happy that I got good items, but they're to create a false narrative that this is what the company is about when it's not. I've heard as well from another channel that used to unbox their stuff and stopped, and then reached out and said, look, with all of the fighting, all of the arguing that's going on online, I'm not going to be unboxing on my channel anymore. And they started to get broken items, and badly packaged items in their boxes, and boxes that were not to their preferences, clothing that were sized totally out of their size ranges. So yeah, it's taken me way too long. Some people would say I've been called a Mickeylooted favorite by some of the Disney YouTube community, and it's taken me too long to realize that this is what the company is about, and I've given them too many chances and been too gracious, I guess you could say. There's a difference between being gracious with people and being gracious with a business. And yeah, so I officially do not recommend Mickeylooted anymore. And there's been talk of like, maybe they'll get it together and maybe this 48-hour thing will actually be worth it, and they'll pull it around, change things, you know what I mean? I think you're still going to have Matt, and you're still going to have that attitude, and you're still going to have that problem, like, unless he totally steps back from interacting with people, you're going to have him lashing out at you because he's not able to handle criticism. Like, you can see it from the messages he sent me. There was no rational thought in those messages. He sounded like a conspiracy theorist going off that he has all of this documentary evidence and he's going to spill the tea, and it's poo-hoo, poor me the whole time, where he's a business owner and he's supposed to supply product to people who pay for it, and he wasn't doing it, or he was doing a bad job, and so they commented about it, or they commented that they were unhappy with the service, and his reaction was to be horrible to people. So again, I've got one last kind of thing to say. You guys know I had a discount code for Mickeylooted, and I feel like a lot of, when YouTubers promote things, obviously they never paid me, which is maybe even worse for me, They never give me any money or anything. Like, I mean, they give me good items, whereas other people were not getting good items. But yeah, they like, when you promote something as a YouTuber and other people see it and think, oh, that looks great, and want to get it, and then some of you have bought it, I would like you to let me know. So if you can go into your first order on Mickeylooed's page, it probably has that you used the discount code WAVY10 and got $10 off your first box using my discount code, or your Potter Loot box. I'd like you to send me those. You can send them to me. Let me see if I can see where to put this. So you can send them to me at justwavymedia@gmail.com. I'll put it here, justwavymedia@gmail.com, or on my Instagram, which is @WavyCowper. I would like to try and make it up to you guys. I'm not exactly sure what exactly to do. Potentially, I'll get you guys a box from a different subscription company. One that I think will provide you with good items, because I don't trust Mickeylooted now to provide you with good items. I don't. Or a Potter Loot. They've added new terms and conditions to their website too, which basically means we're allowed to do whatever we want, and if you're not happy, tough, basically. You can go read them if you'd like on their website. I won't mention their website name because I don't want you to go look at it and you go like, oh, look at these lovely boxes, I'll buy one. Don't. So yeah, if you've used Wavy10 and you can see that, do get in touch, justwavymedia@gmail.com, or WavyCowper on Instagram, and just let me know that you have. Let me know if you've gotten the box. Let me know how long you've been waiting for it. Somebody won a giveaway of a Mickeylooted on this channel as well. I don't remember off the top of my head who it was as I'm filming this, but I'm asking you the same thing. Did you get that box? Did it appear? Were you happy with it when you did? Like, so just let me know, guys, what your experience has been. Have you gotten the boxes? What was your experience of them? Are you waiting on more boxes? How long have you been waiting? And I think, you know, I have a responsibility to you guys who saw what I was unboxing and thought that's great, to, you know, to kind of regain your trust a little bit. I don't want to be showing you, and I don't want to be promoting things that are crap. Now, at the time, I didn't realize, I maybe should have, but I didn't realize how crap it was. But yeah, I would like to try and sort of make it up to you. You know, like, I don't know how many of you there are, so I don't know how, like, what that could be or how long that might take. Yeah, so but do get in touch. Let me know about stuff. Let me know, did you get a box? Did you like it? Are you still waiting for a box? Did you order more boxes? Did you get any of those? Yeah, let me know those things and we'll see what we can do. Okay, so I have another video that came out today. I will link it above. It's a happier video. It's going looking for hidden Mickeys in Disneyland. So maybe go watch this one, that one after this one, because it might cheer you up a little bit. It's just coming out as I'm filming this, about 10 minutes time. So it should be there. It should be there to find. Like I said, I will link it above. I'll try and save a link above for that one. Yeah, and I have another video coming out tomorrow, which is a pin-on bagging. So I will see you guys then. And I hope you have, will I say a magical day at the end of this? I don't know. Anyway, guys, thank you for Anyway, guys, thank you for surfing on a channel that's just wavy enough for surfing. And I do hope you have a magical day. Take care.